Fordham was founded when Catholic students, especially the Catholic immigrants streaming off the ships, were not welcome at elite institutions. And so we very quickly welcomed the Jewish students who were also being turned away from those institutions. I read the polls about rising anti-Semitism, not just on campuses, but in American society, with great alarm. It's all fueled by a toxic mix of social media, of seeking only our own truth, our own sources of information, our own people. The dangers there are chipping away at democracy itself. We are very proud at Fordham of combating anti-Semitism in the way that is much harder and slower but more effective. Hundreds of students a year are taking courses about Judaism as a religion, about anti-Semitism, about Jewish life and culture and art and history, to ask people to put themselves in the shoes of the Jewish people, to tell the story not just of the violence and the oppression and the horror, but of the lives led by Jewish communities throughout history. We have this profound desire and need in higher ed for the ability to disagree with each other, to have speech, to have ideological debates. But then where is the line between that and that which is hurtful and harmful and makes people feel threatened? My general impression is that students feel most nervous and silenced by other students rather than the school. They worry if they are Zionist, that will be met with vitriolic, lockstep opposition. Palestinian students also tell me that they worry that they are demonized or silenced or that they're not allowed to speak either. There is a general sense of angst for the students themselves, along with the rest of us, that this is so fraught that they are not allowed to speak. They're not allowed to represent their identity, to be their full selves. So it is our job to create the spaces where they can do that. We cannot build a bubble over our campuses. We are not immune from the evil sources of hatred in the world. When the reality is complicated, the simple tends to win. The propaganda, the slogans, that which you can learn in 30 seconds in a meme, tends to trump the unbelievable complexity of the reality of the situation. Part of the enemy is entitlement and self-righteousness and selfishness. And where those really drive the culture, you will always have the problem of students who barely know what they're talking about, throwing out this deeply threatening and hateful language because they are trying to provoke, because they revel in self-righteousness. Part of our job at universities is not just to play defense and tell people what they can and cannot think, it's to engage in the complexity. It's to insist that people really examine their preconceived notions, that they dig deep in what is an incredibly difficult and hard situation, and that they actually go there with the facts and the details and the history.